corner, wearing the black trunks with the blue and white trim. He weighed in at 125 1/2 pounds. This gentleman has 36 wins, 2 losses with 22 big knockouts. The former 1988 National Golden Gloves champion and the former WBA Bantamweight champion. He is currently ranked number 7 by the WBC and number 8 by the WBA. Ladies and gentlemen, from Brooklyn, New York, here is Poison Junior Jones. Jones.
Okay, gentlemen, ustedes tienen las instrucciones de ustedes. You got the instructions ready. Ustedes en todo momento y voy a hacer mi instrucción. Thank you, sir. And obey my commands, right? Shake hands, good luck.
Okay, scheduled 10-rounder, former world champion Junior Jones looking to extend his comeback win streak to 5 straight after that devastating knockout loss to Darryl Pinckney, which came almost right on the tail of that upset knockout to John Johnson where he lost the WBA title. There's the bell for the first round. It's Junior Jones, he's in the black shorts, blue stripe. And Mr. Albert Rendon out of San Antonio, Texas, white shorts with the black stripe. And John, interestingly enough, I guess it must be tough to find some opponents for Junior Jones down at this sort of, let's call it a tune-up level. He's given up almost 6 pounds in this fight.
Yeah, they weighed in this morning, and that is a major discrepancy, but I suspect in this case it's not going to make much of a difference, Arnie. Something Junior talked about earlier this morning was, when you're fighting a guy who's only won 9 of 27 fights, mentally, how do you get up for a fight like that? And Junior told me it's very easy because the last time he looked at somebody's record and thought he was a pushover was Darryl Pinckney, and he was stopped in that fight.
Well, you look at the Darryl Pinckneys of the world, you look at the Yancy Gideons who beat Sergio Reyes, upset him. Not necessarily, though, on the other side of the 500 mark, like Albert Rendon, who comes in today with a 9-18 record. Only 4 knockouts, not much of a threat in terms of punching power. Of course, Junior's got 25 knockouts in his 38 wins. Just looking to get back on track now and get back in for a world title shot. I understand that they tried to make him and Orlando Canizales for that big show coming up at the Garden January 12th, featuring Murphy Sosa and Roy Jones Jr. And for whatever reason, couldn't get it together. As we're halfway gone here in round number 1, it's scheduled for 10. Junior's not only got a 4-fight win streak going, he's got a 2 knockout streak going. Last fought October 6th.
And Junior just taking his time here.
See, very calm in the background, referee Tony Perez. Been around for quite a while, did a few Muhammad Ali fights in the old days, some controversial ones at that.
Junior said he had to really get back to basics after his world was shattered following his first loss and only his second title defense in 1994. And he really thought that the pressure got to him as a fighter. He started reading his own clippings and thought he had to start becoming bigger and better as a fighter. And he kind of got out of his style, and he's kind of got back to basics now with trainer Joey Ferriello.
Not an uncommon syndrome, though, today in boxing for the world. And I think probably stretches across all sports, John, where sometimes athletes get a little full of themselves, need a little bit of a setback to get them back on track. And Junior's certainly there now as he's looking for this 5th straight win. There's run to 20 seconds to go in round number 1. We're on the Cedric Kushner Sports Network. We're scheduled for 10.
He's winning this round solely on his left hand.
Okay, very good first opening round for Junior Jones, looking very sharp, very fast. We take a look in his corner, and you mentioned, John, working with Joey Ferriello. Received some other additional press lately, working with a heavyweight of some note.
Buster Mathis, and they've rescheduled that fight, as everybody knows by now, for December 16th in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It'll be at the Spectrum, where there haven't been too many big-time fights in quite a while.
They're saying like the last heavyweight title fight or big heavyweight fight, was it Frazier and Quarry? I think the second Frazier-Quarry fight.
We're talking about Joey Ferriello, and the thing that he told Junior Jones was, I've lost confidence in you after the second fight.
Round number 2. Looking at featherweights in there, former world champion Junior Jones. He's in the black shorts. Out of New York City, Brooklyn to be specific. Albert Rendon is in the white shorts with the black stripe. Coming all the way from San Antonio, Texas today to try his luck against Junior Jones. In between rounds, John, you were saying Joe Fariello had said to Junior Jones that he lost confidence in him. That had to be a little shattering and bit of a reality orientation for him, if nothing else.
Well, they lost. They split up for one fight, and that was the Pinckney fight. And when Junior wanted to go back with Joey said, I don't have confidence in you. You're going to have to show me and prove to me that you want to be back in the ring. And Junior said that was a real wake-up call for him. That Joey's a no BS kind of guy, which of course we all know he is. And it got him back on track. It refocused him, and he realized he needed that wake-up call.
Interesting. Nothing can hurt a fighter more than sometimes the honesty of a trainer, but they don't need patronization. They need that honesty.
And how many trainers are really that honest with fighters? Because oftentimes they're fearful of losing a buck, a payday.
Exactly.
And they don't tell the guy what he really needs to hear. But that's certainly not Joey Fariello.
No, and he comes, of course, out of the Customato school, along with other trainers. Kevin Rooney is one, as we're halfway gone here in round number 2. It's scheduled for 10.
Now, Junior dropped a nice left hand to the body there, which he didn't. We saw him do in his last fight against Thomas Valdez, if you remember how he really worked Valdez's body over. In this fight, Junior's staying on the outside, and Rondon doesn't really want to take many chances. He's trying to stay on the outside, and really it's a tough fight for him to win on the outside of Junior's jab. He's really getting picked apart.
Tough to win. On the other hand, Rendon in his 18 losses has only been stopped twice. Last time was back in July of '94 to John Lowy, who we've seen on the Cedric Krishna Sports Network, and the other one came to Tracy Patterson. Be a nice, interesting measurement, is because many times they've talked about Junior Jones and Tracy. Fights never come off. But Tracy Patterson did stop Rendon, and that was back, though, in December of 1990. So, fairly decent chin on the part of Albert Rendon.
But he's starting to back up Rendon now. He used a double jab there and then dropped the right hand in, backed him right up to the ropes.
Rendon's fought 3 times this year. It's had 1 win, and that one was only a 4-round bout. And lost an 8-round decision and a 10-round decision. We're coming to the close of round number 2. Another fast one, somewhat impressive one for Junior Jones, looking to run his win streak to 5 bouts. And there's our knockout effect here on the Cedric Krishna Sports Network. And as we said at the end of round number 2, we have a what we call the blackout effect on the Cedric Krishna Sports Network. Every now and then it's like an eye test for John and myself to see if we can read our copy.
Well, when they say lights, action, camera, we got the action in the camera. Now we just need the lights. It looks like they're coming back on.
The lights are back on here at the Grand in Atlantic City. Another good round, John, for Junior Jones, and I sit here wondering, is he going to open it up? And there's Joey Fariello in his face. Started to work the body pretty good that round on Rendon.
He's going to need to do more of that.
It's the 3rd round here at Bally's at the Grand. We're scheduled for 10. Arnie Tokyo Rosenthal along with John Ciracino. It's been all former world champion Junior Jones.
Junior was telling me earlier today that one way he wants to remain focused is by, his goal is not to break somebody's bones in the ring. He wants to see blood, which sounds like a gruesome thing for a fighter to say. And typically fighters don't talk that way, but I guess if you have poison across your waist, you got to talk tough.
Well, Rendon just dropped a really nice right-hand lead-in on Jones, who's keeping that left hand very low.
And there he dropped his left again, but then he countered with the right hand when Rendon came right in.
Well, Jones starting to really open up now and letting that hand speed go, and he fought 6 unanswered punches before Rendon could get one off. Hand speed looking very impressive. But I'm sure it still gives Fariello fits where he likes to keep that left hand down below his waist.
He's certainly leaving himself open.
A little more than a minute gone by here in round number 3. And as predicted, Junior Jones starting to open up a bit.
I mean, Jones is really too much of a sharpshooter for a guy like this.
If there's been any criticism, though, in the fight since being knocked out by Pinckney, the 4 that he's won, is that he's getting hit a little bit too much.
Well, he's throwing some of his punches pretty wide, Arnie, and he's leaving himself open to a counter. Now, if he had a guy in there who could counter, it would be interesting to see what would happen.
Well, when he keeps circling after throwing those shots, then he can get away with keeping his hands low, as he's done in these last 4 shots.
And there you see him using his lateral movement to get out of danger in the corner.
Nice hook off the jab there. Jab's really looking nice right now for Junior Jones. And if he's going to keep it down low like that, he has to keep it doubling, tripling it, or throw the hook off the jab. So he can't let Rendon get set and counter with his right. Oh, good left hook.
Double left hook.
John, who would you think right now, since Canizales isn't going to take the fight with Jones, who do you think they're looking towards in the future in the featherweight division?
I'd like to see him fight Barrera, who is one of the hottest names, probably the hottest name in the division right now. How about McKinney from the Olympics? Kennedy McKinney beat Junior Jones to make the Olympic team. That would be a good rematch.
Excellent third round for former world champion Junior Jones, who really picked it up a notch in the third.
Well, he really put his punches together that round, Arnie. He was starting with the jab, and as you were saying, he's hooking off the jab, which is definitely a sign of a fighter that's gained experience and poise in the ring.
We're taking a look up there. Rendon not sitting down as we took a look at action in the third round.
He missed with the jab there, and Rendon just burying his head forward, not really looking where he's going, the right, the left, another left. Good combination punching.
And we take a look at more action from round number 3 and sort of target practice. I was really noticing Junior didn't take his eyes off Rendon. Rendon kind of put his head down, closed his eyes, and barreled in. Round number 4, and it's been all former world champion Junior Jones. He's in the black shorts with the blue stripe. Albert Rendon, he's in the white with the black. Coming to you on the Cedric Kushner Sports Network. In between rounds, we were talking about the sharpshooting of Junior Jones, and near the end of round number 3, we mentioned a possible matchup between Kennedy McKinney, let's say, and a Junior Jones. McKinney just copped the WBU title.
And he's supposed to fight Barrera February 3rd. Junior said he likes Kennedy in that fight if Kennedy's personal life is straightened out. You know, he's had some problems in the past.
No knockdowns thus far in the fight. Referee Tony Perez hasn't had a lot to do. Both fighters pretty much staying on the outside, which is allowed. Oh, and Junior just got hit with that right hand.
And he shook his legs.
And his legs buckled a little bit there. And that's keeping that left hand down. He was open to that right hand lead that Rendon landed in the second round. Not much punching power from Rendon, who's only got 4 knockouts, John.
This is a place for Rendon to really let it hang out, Arnie. I mean, I've got him losing the first 3 rounds, right. He's got to try to go for something there. And there he threw the home run punch, the right hand, and missed.
And the one question mark still out there is Junior Jones's chin. Of course, he got knocked out by John Johnson, losing his 118-pound title in the 11th round. Darryl Pinckney stopped him. You know, you have to also question a little bit. We mentioned he hasn't done well with some of these guys at the heavier weights. You know, Pinckney originally, of course, Jones had the 118-pound title. Pinckney knocked him out at 125 pounds, and he's giving up almost 6 pounds today.
Good straight right hand by Junior. He's been down 3 times in his career, Arnie.
Now, right now, he seems to have his legs back under him as we're under a minute to go in round number 4. It's scheduled for 10. Rendon was stopped, as we mentioned, by Tracy Patterson in 3 rounds. So it'll be a good benchmark to see just exactly what Junior Jones does with him here today.
Boy, Rendon's got a lot of confidence after that. After this round, looks like a different fighter.
Test that right-hand lead again. Also, Junior a little tentative now about putting his jab out there.
That was a sweet move Junior made in the corner right there to turn his man. And that right hand by Rendon just slipping past the left ear.
Good round for a man that I have a tendency to want to say the challenger, Albert Rendon, as we come to the close of round number 4.
Better? That was a good round. That was a real good round.
Well, we're in the corner there of Albert Rendon. And I got to tell you, they got to be real happy with what they saw there in round number 4. Maybe wondering why he didn't jump on Junior at that point.
That was clearly his best round in the fight, and I think the first round that he won, not much doubt about that.
We're going to take a look at that left hook that landed earlier in the round. Glance, but there it was, the right on the face of Junior Jones. And look how low he's keeping that left hand, John.
He's been doing that throughout the fight, and he paid for it in that round.
Okay, that's good right hand behind the Come on, yo. Come on.
5th round of a scheduled 10. That's former world champion Junior Jones, who had a very rocky 4th round.
I couldn't hear what Joey Ferriello was telling him in the corner, but they were doing a little bit of arguing with each other. I don't think Joey was clearly happy with that round. I think Joey told him, get in there and get this guy out of there. Don't take any chances. Start going to the body. Again, we saw in the last fight against Valdez, Junior basically won the fight with a body attack, and he's kind of abandoned that in this fight, Arnie. Not sure why.
He's been trying to fight from the outside, and unfortunately, when he drops that left, Rendon's coming over the top with his right. I think Ferriello said it something along the lines of, don't give me that BS. I was trying to lip read and listen intently.
What makes you think that Joey would use vulgar language in a fight on fight night?
We're at the Grand in Atlantic City on the Cedric Kushner Sports Network, and what was supposed to be a little bit easier tune-up for Junior Jones in his scheduled 10-rounder.
Junior's really putting the combinations together in this round, Arnie.
Oh, he eats that right hand again.
Right down the pipe on Junior Jones. And there was another chopping right hand that just caught the chin, but did not catch him flush. Suddenly, Rendon wants to turn this into a war. And Junior Jones may have come in thinking, despite the guy's record, hey, this is a fight I should be able to win and win fairly easily. It's not turning out that way.
And although we're halfway gone here in round number 5, I mean, Jones is giving him the whole left side of his face. He just keeps dropping that left hand. And Rendon looks like he's been fighting a lot of southpaws because he's got a very good right hand lead. And he's just coming in over the top.
You know, with some fighters, you can get away with dropping that left hand and maybe even bait them into throwing the right so you can counter, but that's not happening for Junior Jones.
There's that nice spin that you talked about, though. Jones, expert at spinning his fighter around his opponent, moving him into the corners. We're under a minute to go in round number 5. Jones again gets caught. And when he's getting inside now, he's abandoning that body attack that he did a little bit better in the 1st and 2nd round. See his manager, Gary Gittleson, at ringside, a little bit of concern on his face. He eats another right-hand lead from Rendon.
Great. The other thing is he could show him some movement by moving to his right to get away from the right hand instead of constantly wheeling to his left, which goes right into Rendon's right hand.
Rendon only has 4 knockouts in his 9 wins. He's got 18 losses. A fairly decent chin, though. Again, only been stopped twice. First time was back in December of '90 against Tracy Patterson. Stopped him in 3. John Lowy, good fighter out of Chicago, stopped him in 6. We come to the end of round number 5. See what's in store for Junior Jones. There we are back in the corner. Former world champion Junior Jones having another shaky round. John, how did you see round number 5 after giving the 4th round to Rendon?
I gave it to Rendon in a close round. You could make an argument that Jones was in the round, but I don't think he got the better of it.
Well, he seemed to come out strong in the beginning of the 5th. And we take a look at action here.
A wide left hook finding a target, followed by the right hand by Rendon.
Whoa, look at it from the other side. The first 60 seconds was all Junior Jones, as if the talking to from Joey Fariello worked, and we're going to try to listen in here. And then he went to sleep the last 2 minutes and got beat up by Rendon again.
All right, seconds out.
It's round number 6. It's scheduled for 10. I don't think Junior Jones thought he'd be here this long. Jones, who possesses 25 knockouts in his 38 wins, taking on a 9-18 Albert Rendon. At least unofficially on my scorecard and on John Saraceno's, has lost the last 2 rounds to Rendon. Pretty much making it a 3-2 fight at this point, John. Again, unofficially on our cards.
Jones is getting hit with punches, Arnie, that he should not be getting hit with. We talked about him dropping a left hand and making himself susceptible to the right, but he's also getting hit by wide left hooks, punches that are telegraphed. He should see those coming. He should be able to slip them and counter.
Well, when Junior has fought on the outside in this fight, he's done best throwing the double jab and using lateral motion. When he throws the jab and stands still and then drops it to his waist, Rendon's coming over the top. He's got Rendon now on the ropes, and he's tentative about coming in.
Junior had his best rounds early when he was doubling up on that jab, just as you say. He got away from it and then got flat-footed and started to pay the price.
Right.
We're in the 6th round. There have been no knockdowns thus far in the fight. Jones clearly the recognized heavier puncher, but most of his knockouts, remember, came at 118 pounds, 120 pounds. He's giving up 6 pounds today to Rendon. Halfway gone in round number 6. Good body shot there by Jones. And as you mentioned, that's what worked well for him in his last fight.
And now he's putting his punches together. Nice little short right uppercut by Junior.
Rendon showing a good chin, though. Eats the body attack. Starts to paw at his right eye. He may be cut.
Much better round for Junior Jones.
Oh, good uppercut in close. Now Jones going to work on the inside where he should be. And again, pawing at that right eye.
That double left hook is starting to bother him. I don't know if he's getting a little bit of swelling along that right eye. Good body work by Junior Jones.
Really where he should have been all along throughout the fight.
And you see how that's slowing his opponent down. When you hit a guy in the body like that over and over again, he's not nearly as eager as to start throwing and moving forward.
And he gave us a look during that clinch, John. He gave us a look over here as if to say, what, give me a break with this guy. Where did he come from?
Yeah.
We're under 10 seconds to go in round number 6. We're scheduled for 10. Take a look in the corner of Junior Jones. Back on track that round, John, and doing pretty much what you said he needed to do. Come in close, work that body. Then he was able to follow up with some good uppercuts.
This is Aloha. Remember, my good friends, these young ladies all represent scores.
We take a look at action here from round number 6. There's those hooks to the body.
Some of those punches aren't landing, but that left hook did. That one missed. But see him hitting around the legs, that'll slow a guy down. Right on the hip and leg. He missed with the uppercut. A little too far outside throwing that uppercut, Artie.
If nothing else, though, when he misses on the body shots, he at the very least is bringing down the arms of Rendon, bringing those elbows in and leaving that jaw exposed where he's trying to land that one uppercut, which could end this fight.
Four rounds, good, okay? Start pressing, start putting pressure on a little bit. With both hands with the shot. Okay?
The 7th round. We're coming to you from Atlantic City at the Grand. I'm Arnie Tokyo Rosenthal along with John Saraceno. former world champion Junior Jones, looking to get his 5th straight win in a comeback attempt. He's fighting at featherweight now. He's in the black shorts with the blue stripe. Albert Rendon gave Jones and his people a scare in the 4th and 5th round, putting 2 good rounds back to back. Had a shaky 6th round himself. He's in the white shorts with the black stripe. Jones starting to look very sharp now, John.
As we figured he would. Rendon really, he doesn't move his head much. He's pretty much a target that's inviting. He comes straight in. Not a lot of upper body movement. And it's a fighter really that Jones should be able to pick apart. Now he's a tough guy, so it's a kind of a fighter where you're going to have to wear him down apparently with attrition, because as you said before, he's only been stopped I think twice in his career.
And again, a benchmark here. John Lowy, good fighter out of Chicago, but not supposed to be of Junior Jones caliber. Stopped him in 6. Tracy Patterson stopped him in 3, and that was back in 1990. He did go to distance with Ricardo Cepeda. He went the distance with Reggie Tur. He's been in with some good fighters.
I see a spot of blood on Junior's cheek, but I don't think it was from him. I think it's from Rendon.
One common opponent, Rendon went the distance with Darryl Pinckney in a 6-round bout, and that was back in June of '94. Of course, Pinckney stopped Jones in a big upset with a 3rd-round knockout. That was in October of '94. Actually, Rendon was the tune-up for Pinckney before the Junior Jones fight. Interesting, because we have a little bit more than a minute to go in round number 7. The scheduled 10-rounder, but nobody figured it to go this long. That's referee Tony Perez. Been sort of inconspicuous thus far in the fight.
Junior's like a lot of fighters. They go into a fight without a game plan. They have a general idea what they want to do, but they intend to fight their fight and not worry a lot about what the other guy is going to do.
Do you consider him a good fighter in terms of adjustment, though, or do you think that that's something that he lacks?
I think he's made some adjustments in this fight, but I think the biggest thing was that he's gotten careless. He got hit with punches, Arnie, that really, in his class, he shouldn't be getting hit with. I think when he found out that the jab was working, he came back to it, and then when he saw that the body attack was slowing down Rendon, he went back to that. He wasn't stubborn about it. I think that was the discussion he had with Ferriello in the corner.
Also some questions about Jones's stamina as we're here in the 7th round. It's scheduled for 10. He looked a little slower this round than he did in the last one.
Well, fans, for your convenience.
And Jan, at the end of the round, we started to talk a little bit about the stamina situation on Junior Jones. He's been 10 and 12 rounds many times, but when he did lose his title, he got stopped in the 11th round.
December the 22nd.
Has attrition been a problem for him in the past?
Well, anytime you're a championship fighter, you got to be able to go the distance. And it's not something you want to do as a fighter, but I don't think stamina's been a problem for him. A lot of times stamina's a mental thing, too. You got to get over that hump mentally. I think Junior long ago conquered that.
And we take a look. We just saw that good right uppercut that he landed during the round. He's been trying to land it effectively all throughout the fight. Rendon, again, though, as we see him in his corner, showing a very good chin as they get ready for round number 8.
Good work. Good work. Keep your hands up. Keep that pressure.
It's the 8th round, and we're scheduled for 10. And at the risk of being redundant, Junior Jones didn't figure to be here at this point. Not in a fighter that Tracy Patterson stopped in 3. John Lowy stopped in 6 and comes in with a 9-18 record.
And I think in a sense, Arnie, the Junior's made this fight easier for Rendon than he really should have.
Well, he gave away those 2 rounds in the middle where one of them in particular, 4th round, got shook real bad by that right-hand lead. And Rendon showing a pretty good jab there all of a sudden. He goes to Junior's body. Hasn't been much of a body attack, though, on the part of Rendon throughout this fight. Junior spotting Rendon almost 6 pounds. Trying to get working on the inside again. Bringing those hands down and allowed him to land that left hook.
Oh, nice
Rendon,
work.
and he's got Rendon leaning forward.
Nice work by Junior Jones. Not only was he landing punches, he was elusive. He was slipping punches and coming back with counter shots. Got sloppy there, right there. They got hit with the right hand again.
And I was about to say, just as he looked sharp, he lets that left hand down, and Rendon came with that right over the top.
Well, that's
He's showing brilliance in flashes today.
That's carelessness.
Almost as if he has a concentration problem.
Well, it happened when he lost his title to John Michael Johnson, breaking a clinch carelessly, backing out, not protecting himself, got caught and dropped.
Rendon pouring at that right eye again. Got a pretty good lump there, starting to swell up on him.
And that left hook has been a good weapon for Junior Jones. He's really been able to land that at will.
Now he moves in.
Nice counter shot there with the right hand by Jones.
If he would set down on one of those, he could probably put Rendon away, but he seems to be up on his toes and bouncing a little bit too much when he's throwing those punches, as we have under a minute to go in round number 8. That's Junior Jones, former world champion. He's in the black shorts. Albert Rendon came in from San Antonio, Texas, took the bout on short notice. He's in the white. No knockdowns thus far in the fight.
See, when he gives Rendon just enough movement, stepping to the side, Rendon has to kind of get started over again, and it's a problem for him. Now we're seeing what happened in the first round. Rendon staying on the outside of Junior's jab, and that's not going to get it done.
But, you know, there's no offense coming from Rendon whatsoever right now, but Junior's not taking advantage of it. And he looks a little tired to me.
I think he's just trying to stay out of harm's way and get through the end of the round. I think he realizes he won the round pretty big.
And he's done that as we come to the end of round number 8. We're scheduled for 10. These are featherweights. We take a look at Albert Rendon's corner. Pretty good performance. I mean, you really can't knock this guy for the caliber of fighter. He's a 9-18 fighter and with former world champion who's 38-2 with 25 knockouts, and here he is in round number 9 and gave the guy a scare for 2 rounds.
He certainly, and a little bit more than that, he certainly hasn't come in and laid down by any stretch of the imagination. He's given Junior Jones all he can handle.
Davis, plus other bouts. Remember now, that's Saturday, January 13th, right back here at the Grand Theater.
And you don't see often fighters talking to their trainer in the corner, but we see a lot of conversation between Joey Ferriello and Junior Jones. Very unusual.
At 1-800-736-1420. More about that later.
Come on, let's go.
Round number 9, and it's sort of a disgusted look on the face of Junior Jones. And what exactly went on in that corner between rounds, Jim?
You know, Arnie, I'm not sure, but it's almost like watching a father and his son. He's like, the father's trying to explain something to the son's saying, "Yeah, Dad, but," and it's like they're not quite communicating.
Well, Junior Jones, perhaps a little disgusted with his performance at this point. I mean, he's looked sharp, but I think, you know, when you're in with a 9-18 fighter, you don't want to be here in round number 9. It's really that plain and simple.
And also, in case people don't know, Joey Ferriello is a perfectionist. No matter what you do in a fight, he will say you did well, but he will also pick out the thing you did not do well, and I think that's what's happening in the corner. I think probably Junior is saying to him, "Hey, look, basically, I'm handling this guy for the most part. Yeah, maybe I've got hit a couple of times with shots I shouldn't have, but I'm picking him apart. And yet you're telling me to do X, Y, and Z." But again, that's why he pays Joey Ferriello. You want a trainer to tell you the things you're not doing right, in addition to the things you are doing right.
The best relationships of fighters and trainers have been when they haven't been yes men and there's no patronization going on, as we mentioned earlier.
And I'm watching Joey in his corner right now, and he's kind of just shaking his head. Looks disgusted.
Well, again, I have to wonder if you have Junior Jones, who was a world champion at 118 pounds. He came in at 125 today, fighting a guy at over 131 pounds. Is he even in the right weight class? Should he be fighting at 122? Does he have the punching power, that great KO power of his, to take out somebody like Rendon, who's over 130 pounds here today?
That's a legitimate question, and as he fights a guy like Pereira and moves up in class, you know, Pereira's been walking right through opponents. You know, Junior Jones says that he doesn't feel Pereira is the best in the division, but right now he's getting all the attention, and he feels he's already done things that Pereira is just doing now. But Jones has lost 2 fights. He's coming back. It's a different situation. Here we see Rendon just like coming straight ahead. Okay, break. Throwing shots left and right. Jones looking down at us with a half smirk, half smile, as if to say, "We're in a little bit of a tough fight here today, guys."
Rendon is 30 years of age. Junior Jones started his career back in 1989. Wasn't even 19 years of age yet, John. Almost like a Mexican fighter, where they start real young down there.
Okay, break.
And it still has yet to turn 25. Will be turning 25 next week. But somewhat considered a veteran at this point as we come under 10 seconds in round number 9. And it looks like we'll be here for the 10th and final round on the Cedric Kushner Sports Network. As we go back to the corner with Junior Jones, you kind of wonder maybe he wanted to go to a neutral corner so he wouldn't get another tongue lashing from Joey Fariello between rounds. He's going into the 10th round, a place where he didn't figure to be in this fight. I don't know about you, John. I've got it comfortably ahead for Junior, 7-2, but I think he was looking more for the KO in this fight. And we take a look at action from round number 5. Good hand speed, but Rendon doesn't seem to be the least bit intimidated by the punching power of Junior Jones today.
Now, he was just plowing straight ahead there. I don't know how many of those punches were landing, but he certainly back poised up to the ropes momentarily.
This is the 10th and final round.
Tenth and final round. Referee Tony Perez as the fighters touch gloves in the middle of the ring. It's been all Junior Jones. Unofficially, John and I have it 7-2 for Jones, but he did get rocked in those 2 rounds that he lost, the 4th and the 5th. Right hand lead being the ticket for Rendon when he did land. Body attack being the ticket for Junior Jones, and he gets hit with that right hand lead one more time.
Rendon also landed a shot there that Jones thought was low, and Jones responded with a rabbit punch.
Tony Perez wanting the fight out of it, eventually had to break the fighters. And I'm surprised. I would have thought Jones would have come out here like hellfire this round trying to get a knockout. Instead, he's letting Rendon have the last word, at least so far in the first 30 seconds of the round. There he's trying to land that double left hook, but lands on the glove, protecting the face of Rendon. Good uppercut finally lands in close by Junior Jones. And when he's been on the program, and that program fighting in close, like you mentioned, John, it works, and you have to wonder why he doesn't stay in tight like that.
Okay, break.
He's done his best work. He's not the easiest guy to hit either at times. He can be very elusive, knows how to slip a punch. See, and you see him using his footwork there, and you get out of harm's way to get away from that right hand by moving to his right.
And oddly enough, now when he moves to his right, he's landing the right hand on Rendon, and you haven't seen many right hand leads land by Jones throughout the fight. Moving to the right seems to be working for him as we got a little bit more than halfway gone in the 10th and final round. Junior Jones looking to get his 5th straight win. Didn't figure, though, to have to go the full 10 to do it against Rendon, who came into this fight 9-18. Of course, Jones 38-2. Those 2 losses coming to John Michael Johnson, where he lost his world title. The other one in an upset to Darryl Pinckney, unheralded journeyman.
Some of the snap has left the punches of both fighters at this stage, Arnie. They're kind of slapping, but you can hear him with a short right uppercut. Rendon shaking up momentarily.
And there's been no knockdowns thus far in the fight.
Okay, break.
Under 40 seconds to go, referee Tony Perez breaks the fighters. Neither looking to mix it up in close. Junior doesn't have much left on that left hook now, John, as you mentioned. Every indication that it's going to go to distance at this point. Not a bad 10th round for Rendon. Not winning the round, but hanging in there. And there's Jones starting to open up a little bit now.
That right uppercut has really worked well for Jones in this fight, with a guy moving straight in on him with his head down, exposing the middle.
The last chance, Perez.
Junior Jones, a disgusted look on his face.
He's not happy.
Kind of like Albert Rendon went over to him and he didn't even look back at him, kind of like, yeah, but you know, you shouldn't have been here for 10 rounds with me. And
come on, let's do it.
that's really the bottom line.
Yeah, clearly that's the look on his face throughout the fight, and we know Joey Ferriello was not happy either, standing over in the corner of the ring apron with his hands on his hips, scratching his head.
Well, we're going to take a look at 10th round action. John, you mentioned that his best punch throughout the fight was the uppercut. We're going to take a look, and there it lands again, almost knocking the mouthpiece out of Albert Rendon. We take a look from the other side.
And that left hook also, the left hook and that right uppercut jolting Rendon's chin.
And what a good chin it was. You have to give credit where credit was due. He got hit with some good shots by Junior, and he's still there in the end of the 10th round. Fight that we saw 8-2 for Junior Jones, but never figured to go the full 10 rounds. Nevertheless, Jones looking to extend his comeback streak to 5 straight wins. Obviously, his KO streak ended at 2 straight. Rendon looking to try to get back on some sort of a winning streak. He came in as a 9-18 fighter. He'll leave most likely as a 9-19 fighter.
I guess.
And we're going to go up for the official decision from our ring announcer, Ed Darian.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Grand here in Atlantic City, New Jersey, I've got the scoring, and here it is. Judges Melvina Lathan and Barbara Perez each score 119, while Judge Paul Venti, he scores 98-92. All for the winner by unanimous decision, Poison Junior Jones. Jones.
Well, there you have it, John. One judge saw it our way. Two of them gave a shutout for Junior. I don't know how come they couldn't give the 4th and 5th to poor Albert, who came all the way from San Antonio. At least let him win a couple of rounds, which I thought he won. But Albert Rendon drops down to 9-19, and if Junior Jones improves his record to 39-2, but couldn't stop tough Albert Rendon here today on the Cedric Kushner Sports Network.